All right now.
Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback.
Chiefs Kingdom
Live!
They want it. They want it.
Now, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. Go get it.
That's a different tier right there, baby.
Yeah, we're not having a snowball fight.
He'll get handled when he gets handled.
The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Do it live! Let's go! You gotta fight for your right to party!
Woo! Howdy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's Chiefs Kingdom Live. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, real quick, if you wouldn't mind, before you forget, make sure you click or tap that like and click or tap that subscribe button. Maybe tell a friend, tell a family member, tell some Chiefs fans, help spread the word. We would sure appreciate that. Got a good show lined up tonight. We're going to talk about the Missouri vote that passed the resolution to help keep the Chiefs in Missouri. We'll kind of revisit our predictions that we made a couple weeks ago, and that was kind of up in the air, see if that changes things or not. Maybe just talk about Arrowhead. There's some OTAs and mandatory stuff that is on now. There's been some other NFL news. A future Hall of Fame quarterback has joined the AFC. I guess he was already in the AFC last year, but with a much better team, you would like to think this go around. So we'll talk about that. Anything you want to talk about? Any topics, questions you got? Make sure you throw them up in the chat. Looks like there's Laney in there. I imagine all the regulars will start showing up. Before we get into it, Nick, how you doing tonight, man?
I kind of feel like we might blow away, man. I don't know. It's like rainstorm kind of came out of nowhere. It was hot as hell today, and now it's
right.
Ran sideways as I came down to do the show. So otherwise, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. That's fine. It's not. I can see it's gray off to the south. Like, for those of you who don't know, Nick and I live about 1.5 miles from one another, so I can usually see storms. If you're familiar with the Kansas City area, usually move southwest to northeast, right? Generally speaking, so I can usually see what weather's coming Nick's direction about 5 minutes before it gets here, but there's no rain, nothing going on here. The trees are barely blowing.
Tonganoxie split, you know.
right. So I'm doing good. Was enjoying the warm weather, and now it looks like we got more rain, which I don't know. The rain's been nice, maybe a little overdone. Starting to get a little tiresome here this spring, but I'll still take it over 99 and 99% humidity. You know what I'm saying? A little cool and rainy, especially when you're indoors. It's not like we're out at the game or nothing. So, looking like for the Royals' sake, maybe hopefully that storm would have got here a little bit sooner or gone that way, looking at that score. But anyway, Missouri passes the initiative, which basically will fund a new stadium for the Royals as long as it's in the state of Missouri, and a renovation of Arrowhead. So it's kind of, I don't know what you want to say. I know Kansas has said they are not going to extend the Star Bond offer past the end of this month. You have to see if they hold that position or not.
Right.
Yet to be seen there. I don't know if they're really the ones that should be putting like time limits on people and trying to strong arm. They're the suitor, right? And so I don't know that trying to rush the Chiefs into making a decision is going to help them or not. But Chiefs could always call their bluff too and see if they extend that thing out. I mean, if they really want the Chiefs bad enough, they'll extend it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I think so. I don't know how popular it is with the voting base down there, but they don't really need a vote for that
No.
to go through. So yeah, look, if it's just like being in an auction now. It's like, how bad do you want it, right? They're already, committing to a pretty substantial amount of money, and I think they're saying, maybe they're trying to get a little fear loss going on, but I think they're saying, like, look, we offered you to finance 70% of this, right? Like, of your stadium, and so I think that they're like, that's a great offer. Like, you should take it. And
Right.
but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that's clear is that the Chiefs have the power in the situation, right? They're
Yeah.
It's the seller's market for them, and they're selling their business to both of these areas. So, it's one of those deals where, like, the Chiefs are going to come out on top on the deal. The communities will help fund it. They will benefit as well. But yeah, it's definitely, I think you'll see, if the Chiefs don't make a commitment, I think you'll see them be like, okay, well, we'll extend it, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Chiefs will call their bluff there. Maybe not though. Now that they know they have the deal from Missouri, maybe they need some more time to see, or maybe do some polling to see what additional funding from, like, the county,
right.
what a poll, what it's not an election, but what a vote might look like for something like that. They got turned down last time, but that thing we talked about a couple weeks ago was kind of put together almost like last minute, it seemed like, and wasn't very. I mean, it wasn't blowing anybody away on the Chiefs side, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was intentional or not. It was also connected to the Royals, which I got to think that with the heat that Kansas has put on, and now that you've got the state money involved, a vote in Jackson County, those folks are going to want to keep the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah, I think if it had just been the Chiefs the first time, it probably would have passed. But I think that the Royal Stadium and Crossroads or wherever they were looking
Right.
was just too much to swallow there for them. But I don't know. I mean, it's weird. The inner workings of county politics is just a strange beast, to be sure. So we'll see. We'll see what it goes. But yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, look, do, like, it's the best possible time for the Chiefs, right? Like, they're like, well, we just went to 3 consecutive Super Bowls and, had a back-to-back, and we've won 3 in the last 6 years. I mean, like,
they're in the
we
middle of
got
a
Patrick
dynasty.
Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, just, so I don't know. Maybe my view is skewed, but I don't think there's a lot of cities that love their teams the way that people love the Chiefs here. And I know everybody says, "Oh, these are the greatest fans in the world," but I mean, through 50 years of, like, really kind of producing nothing, right, other than an AFC Championship appearance with Joe Montana, the city really stuck by that team. So I think if it was just up to keeping them there, the vote would pass.
Yeah. It seems like at this point it's going to come down to the Chiefs. Do they want a new state-of-the-art stadium, or do they want to put a ton of money into Arrowhead? Look, they got a chance here with, I mean, the Chicago Bears are moving out of Soldier Field, right? They're building a new stadium. I mean, when you think of the 3 or 4 most iconic NFL stadiums, your average football fan would probably say what? Soldier Field, Lambeau, Arrowhead.
I mean, do you think Foxborough's in there?
Yeah, that's not like an old. I mean, I don't know if it's iconic or not. Maybe you would throw that one in there. But so look, the Chiefs, they got a chance here to, and maybe it's just because, like, maybe it's a little bit of bias being a Chiefs fan, but it just seems like there's some teams and stadiums that, for whatever reason, are, like, attached at the hip, right? They're just so intertwined with one another.
Right.
And when you think of one, you think of the other. It almost feels like to leave Arrowhead would almost hurt the brand of the Chiefs, or
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been discussions on what $1.1 billion in renovations could do for Arrowhead, what that would look like. Are we talking wider concourses? I know there's been some people out there that are saying the Chiefs really liked that stadium in Germany that they played in, which has that like curtain thing, which if you watch any kind of Bundesliga or English Premier League soccer, anything like that, they're open air stadiums, but they have this, I don't know, it's not like a curtain or a drape, but it's also not a hard ceiling like an actual dome, right? So it keeps the rain off of the fans. It allows the stadium to be heated somewhat. Obviously, not going to be 72 degrees with a big hole right in the middle of it, and not being glass or some sort of solid material that's insulated. But I mean, what would you think about the Chiefs doing something like that? That would be unique. That would be different. It would keep them in Arrowhead. What do you think of that idea?
I mean, yeah, I understand the you know, look, it gets really cold here sometimes, right? And they're looking to maybe, but the stadium's full, so unless they're just trying to attract like a higher end clientele that, the people that are not interested in going to the game but have more money than people that are willing to go to the game, I don't know. I mean, the stadium fills up. I mean, It's always, unless the Chiefs are absolutely terrible, like it's full, and so I kind of like just having it the way it is. Like, I know I'm like, they people don't like change, and it's one of the things I fight at work. Right. But I think that the way the stadium looks and the experience there is perfect. I mean, they could maybe, like you said, like heated concourses, I think would be great. I think they could take some of that money and try to invest in maybe like developing some of the stuff around the stadium, right? Like put something in there. I just think that keeping the stadium experience as close to what it is today is like, that's like the soul of going to a Chiefs game for me.
Sure.
Is going there and it's open, and sometimes you're battling the sun, sometimes you're battling the cold, sometimes you're battling the rain. But I don't know, man. To me, it's just not that big of a. I don't understand why people get so upset about having to be outside for a game. To be honest, I don't like.
Right.
I don't get it.
I have this conversation with people I know too. I'm like, you realize people lived like before there was air conditioning and heat, right? Like, there's people that had straw in their roofs, and like a wood burning oven, and that was about it. And when I was in college, I drove a car, the air conditioner went out, and it was like $900 or something to get it fixed. And I was like, well, I don't have $900, or I'm not gonna spend $900 on. So I rolled a car for 2 or 3 summers, no air conditioning. I mean, you're gonna live. It's just the creature comfort. It's kind of like the rave, and it's also a lot of it is to try to attract the Super Bowl,
of it, right?
Trying to get a basketball Final Four, whatever. I've been thinking about this.
MetLife got a Super Bowl,
right? Well, it's New York, so they're gonna bend the rules and do a little bit more for New York than they are for Kansas City.
Yeah, no,
right or wrong, fair or unfair, that's just the way that's gonna be. I mean,
sure.
NFL got really lucky that year with that Super Bowl too. They had unseasonably good weather there for that game, that Super Bowl in particular. I've been thinking about this more and more since it's been back in the news, and we talked about it last week. And I just like my excitement level to go to a Chiefs game will definitely be lower if they move to a new stadium, right? I mean, do you feel that same way?
Yeah, no, I like I said, I mean, I think that the soul of the team is in that building. I just, there's too much history there. They could make it nicer, right? The bones are good. Yeah. They could put the the luxury type seating in there. I know they replaced the seats. I don't like the seats they replaced them with, like, to be honest, like compared to the old ones. They're not as loud. You can't beat on them. I think they're colder definitely, because they're not hollow, right? Like, but I just feel like that's like, it's like such a such like to me an inseparable part of the team is the stadium, right?
Yeah.
And like
No, yeah.
like I
That's kind
talked
of what I was
about
saying at the
last
beginning.
week.
That's like they're
Yeah.
like intertwined. They're one and the same, man. It's like Arrowhead is the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are Arrowhead.
You know what it reminds me of, and dude, like, sorry if this is a reference that only me and Scott will understand, but do you remember when we were kids and we used to go to Seferino's
Oh yeah.
Mexican restaurant, right? And it was this old building. It was small, but like it was like busy, and there's a lot going on, and it had this like alive atmosphere. And then Seferino's was really popular. What they do? They built a new building, and it was big, and it was nice, and it was new, but it was like
Right.
not the
Wasn't
same.
the-
It wasn't the same. Like
No.
and I don't know if like they did okay, but to me it was just like the whole point of like going to Seferino's is like kind of that tight, lots going on, cult, like that atmosphere, and like they killed it with the new building, and I'm worried about them doing that with the Chiefs, to be honest. I've been in there. I don't want to feel like I'm going to a luxury hotel, to go to a game. I don't know. That's just me, but obviously, like I think we're in the minority here. I think that there's a lot of people that support it, and obviously there's a lot of people we know that don't go to games, right? Because it's going to be too cold and they don't want to sit out, right? So,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. If you follow us on our
John
X,
C.
What's up, John C? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, no, look, we put out there on the Chiefs Kingdom Live X account a photo we took at the playoff game against the Colts a few years ago, Andrew Luck's final game, as it turned out to be. And we put on there, share or reply. There's the rain and the thunder right there. It just got here. I was about right. That was right about what, 5-10 inches, like I said.
That's exactly right, man.
Exactly right. Post like one of your favorite Arrowhead picks, and just like seeing those. If you're not following us on X or you're not, you're not checking us out there, go check it out. It was really cool. There's a lot of people that reposted that and replied with just some awesome pictures, and it's just not only the history but the memories, right? And going to those games, and one of the things that popped into my mind was how like insane it is for people. They're like, oh, it's better to watch the game at home when you're seeing these people posting these awesome pictures of Arrowhead. But not only that, just like that stadium's the loudest stadium in the world. Some people think that's gimmicky, or like Guinness never goes somewhere and they don't set a record, right? So, but it's known as the loudest stadium in the world. I mean, there was people that were posting on there, Chiefs fans. There was a Chiefs fan and his name is escaping me. I apologize. I should give him credit, but he's from Australia, man. Like he came all the way from Australia, and he didn't come here just to go to a Chiefs game, man. He came here to go to Arrowhead Stadium too. So we've met visiting fans from other teams over the years going to games. There's a couple of guys, New York Giants fans, that I met and tailgated with before a game a number of years ago. And afterwards, they were just blown away. And they're like, this is by far the best. They would go to a road Giants game. It was a guy and his cousin Vinny, which was really hilarious. And those guys were they were characters, man. And it was a good time. And they said this was by far the best atmosphere and the best away stadium that they had been to. We've heard a lot of people say that, and you see people talk about their experience at Arrowhead. I don't know, man. The other thing, too, is like if they build a big, fancy $2 billion stadium out in Kansas or somewhere else, then you start talking about, are they going to have? And they might try to do this at Arrowhead, too. There's no guarantee that they wouldn't, but the seat licensing thing, which is really going to change the makeup of the fans and the people that you see out there at Arrowhead. You think it's a minority, though? People want to stay at Arrowhead? You think a majority of fans want a new dome stadium? I kind of am getting the reverse vibe. I mean, I think we did a poll, and it was pretty much overwhelmingly in favor of keeping Arrowhead as opposed to a dome. You think most fans want a dome?
I think that the hardcore fans that are online talking about Chiefs stuff and voting in polls probably are going to be more purist, right? But I think
like it wasn't
casual
like
fans, right?
It wasn't a scientific poll that sampled
I'm saying your
people
casual
like
fans,
actually,
right? Like are probably more apt to go to a game in December, right? So I that's what I think. Like, so I just think that like if you were to poll everybody that might potentially go to a game, and that's the market that they're after because they've already got the hardcore fans captured.
Right.
So
this kind of harkening back to a point we made a couple weeks ago when we talked about this on the
Mhm.
show. Those fans, are they going to be going to a game in 2030 when Patrick Mahomes is this is his 8th season?
right.
So year 13, past the prime, getting towards the end. Maybe possibly retired at that point. I mean, I think he's probably going to play more than 13 years, but those fans going to be going out filling up that dome that they want when Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are gone and the team is not in dynasty mode. We saw what happened with the Royals right there for a couple of years, and we never put down anybody as a fair weather fan. Look, you can be whatever type of fan, and you can take it as serious or be as casual as you want. That's not the point of what we're trying to say here. But are those people going to be that are clamoring for the dome, the casual fan, or are those people going to be filling up a dome when the dynasty is over and the Chiefs are back to an average NFL team?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how far they regress in that era. You know what I mean? Like if they're awful, then it's gonna be looked at as like a terrible decision until they get good again. But I still think that it attracts enough attention, and then there will be enough events there around the new stadium and in the new stadium. I think that'll account for it, right? I think that when we talked about last week, like the Final Four, if you get Super Bowl, like, I mean, I think that those things, like I know that the World Cup isn't going to be here all the time, but there will probably be international soccer matches that'll happen there, right? Like, I think there's a lot of things that'll go into that venue that will help people feel like it was a good investment.
Sure. Yeah, no, definitely could. So where you at? I mean, I think when we talked about this last time, you were being optimistic, and that
I was trying to convince myself. I was trying to will it into existence.
Right. You still feel the same way? I mean, if you had to say you had to bet $1,000 on it, where they go? You think they stay or they go? New stadium or
look, I think stay. I think that the vote passing in Missouri,
huge.
With Kansas placing the pressure that they were placing, right, and saying, hey, the star bond deal, it's not going to like last forever. Like if the Chiefs weren't going to seriously consider this offer, then like there's no reason for them to have waited for the vote. They could have just said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Like we're not going with you either way." So I feel good about it. It shows that there is like what I would consider like an honest intent to try to work it out and stay. So I'm still positive. I mean, I don't want to like win money and then like feel bad about like what I put it on. So yeah, this theoretical $1,000 put it on staying in Missouri. What about you?
Yeah, that's just more or less not that you would like want to benefit from them losing. I just meant like if you had to like seriously, you know what I mean, put down, make an answer, not just oh well, yeah, of course, I'm going to be optimistic or whatever. Like more like a reality. Like what's your real opinion? What do you think happens? I mean, I'm more swayed towards them staying now, but I don't know. I feel like the allure of the other events in a brand new stadium is going to be too much for them to turn down. I think Clark Hunt is probably torn, right?
Yeah. Don't do it, Clark. You'll regret it every time you walk in.
He will. He definitely will. Like, I do not think.
What the right move is.
Right. The guy's got more money than he knows what to do with. Not begrudging him at all. He's been a terrific owner for this team and a smart businessman. He's earned everything he's got. But yeah, no, I think he would regret it too. I think it would be a stale atmosphere. Like the smart business thing. And then maybe it would be if you piss off enough of your fans. Maybe that's not the smart business thing. But it's one of those things like, your head tells you to get the brand new shiny stadium and get all these other events, and like your heart's telling you, nah, stay at Arrowhead State, your dad's stadium, right?
Right.
I mean, he's got to have people around him, though. Mark Donovan, the team president, he's been with the team for a number of years now, but he's not like Clark Hunt, right? Like his dad's stadium and been going there since he was a kid. I think he's got people in his ear saying, Clark, like, this is the smart move. Like, this is a business. This is, like, the way to go. So we'll see. Still kind of split here on what we think happens, but time will tell. I mean, how long do you think before we know? Do you think they make a decision before the end of this month? Do you think they come out? You think keep thinking about it and see if Kansas is bluffing? I mean, when do you think we know?
I mean, when would Jackson County be able to re-vote on something?
It would have to be on the November, right? I think is when.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that like. I think they have enough time to wait. Huh? Yeah. What's up?
Janet's popping in here. Good to see you.
Yeah. I think that they'll wait to see. I mean, if they can get even more money, right? Like Missouri's kicking in. Let's see what Jackson County can do, right? Like,
right.
I think we'll find out probably by the end of the year is what I would say. But I don't think we're going to have a decision in the next month.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we do either. I think Kansas is going to have to extend that out. They're going to have to change course.
In the news tomorrow, it's going to be like the Chiefs decide.
Chiefs, yeah, right. Of course, yeah. Whatever we.
Because I said end of year, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, making predictions on the internet where things are recorded, and people never remember when you were right about something. People only remember when you're wrong about something. So it's definitely the case there. Yeah. I think you definitely know by the end of the year. I'll go same as you, I guess. I mean, if they're going to vote on it, if a vote would be in November for the additional funds from the county or whatnot, I think that's when you find out. But time will tell. I don't know if anybody's got any questions in the chat there. I got mandatory 3-day mini camps. Just another like inching closer and closer to the season here. Under 90 days. Are you starting to get that Chiefs football itch now, Nick?
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like always conflicted where it's like you don't want summer to be over, but you want football to be back. So, yeah, it's like just the off-season things, like, to me, just don't feel that that need, you know what I mean? Like, I think that the NFL tries to stretch a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah.
So it's like you get football stuff all year. It's like, yeah, but I mean, not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like more of a reminder that, that there isn't any football right now. So, yeah, dude, I'm ready. I want to go. I want to go to a game. I want the Chiefs to kind of shake the stink off of that Super Bowl loss and
right.
Put together another great run, man. I'm just really excited for this season.
Right. Yeah, they should be motivated, no doubt. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the winter. I used to love winter. I say it was cool, but as I get older, that cold, man, just starts getting to me. Like, I don't know what it is. Janice asks what we'd like to see happen with location. I mean, we're both in favor of the Chiefs staying at Arrowhead.
Definitely.
It's just a matter of whether or not that's actually going to happen. But, yeah, no, we definitely both want the Chiefs to stay at their home. And like we kind of mentioned earlier, I know you just popped in here. They're just so like one and the same, like Arrowhead and the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are Arrowhead and Arrowhead are the Chiefs, and to strip them apart just seems like, I mean, everything will be different. And I mean, I'll still go to Chiefs games and I'll still be excited. I'm a Chiefs fan, more than an Arrowhead Stadium fan, I guess you could say. But definitely wouldn't be the same. And I definitely don't think I would look forward to heading out there as much to a new stadium. But, yeah, John C., the money talks, right?
Money baby.
Talks, BS walks. Trying to think subjects here. There's been some people talking about Patrick Mahomes this last year or two, but even more so this last year. And with the offense being like, 16th or 17th and having an average offense. And Patrick hasn't had the gaudy numbers that he had his first 3 or 4 years as a starter in the league. Like, people are saying there's pressure on him to be better. Like, do you first of all, do you think there's pressure on Patrick Mahomes this year? Like,
I think that he places a tremendous amount of responsibility and pressure on himself.
right, but I'm just saying, like, in reality, like, as a fan, or
I mean,
like
from like
people's
legacy-wise,
expectations of him, like, is there pressure on Patrick Mahomes?
see, we live in like this 24-hour news cycle thing, and
Sure.
all the people that have to talk about stuff like for a job, right? Like, you know, we're sitting here and we're like, oh, what are we going to talk about? There's not a lot going on.
Right.
These are the folks that are like, you know, oh, this is Patrick Mahomes. He's got the pressure on him. He's got to, you know, show this or that. It's like, or what? Or he'll only like have gone as many Super Bowls as John Elway and won as many as Troy Aikman. Like,
right.
You know, like, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
I just don't see like the outside pressure mattering or being any greater than the pressure he's going to place on himself because of like how he got to the position he's in. So I think it's all that's noise. All of it's noise.
Right. I mean, all great athletes have high expectations and put pressure on themselves. And Patrick has said, you know, it's Super Bowl or bust every year for this organization and the heights they've achieved. But I mean, I'm talking like in reality, man, like there's no pressure on the guy to like be better. I mean,
better than 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Right. I mean, the Super Bowl loss was disappointing, but I don't put a lot of that on him. To me, there was really nothing average about Patrick Mahomes last year. When you look at the offense, maybe the offensive numbers were middle of the pack and quote unquote average. But I mean, he was doing it without Rashee Rice for most of the year. He was doing it without Hollywood Brown. His top 2 targets they brought in, Xavier Worthy was a rookie, and everybody knows Andy Reid takes some time to bring rookies along. The last couple of years, Rashee Rice 2 years ago, Xavier Worthy last year, due to injuries and circumstances, were kind of forced to become the guy, right, and the focal point of the offense earlier than normal. But the run game, Isaiah Pacheco, regardless what your opinion is about him, he got hurt, and when he came back, he wasn't the same. I mean, Kareem Hunt was their lead back. Like, the offense might have been average, but there was nothing average about Patrick Mahomes last year and the plays he made and the game-winning plays. And he drug that team to a 15-2 record. It was really a 15-1 record because he didn't play the last game. I mean, nothing Patrick Mahomes does is average, is it ever?
I mean, is there going to be more pressure than when he went into the Super Bowl, like being the only person to ever have the chance to go win one game and three-peat? Like, I just don't like. He's experienced all the pressure that you're ever going to experience, being trading up to be the number 1 draft pick for a team that hadn't drafted since, you know, the cursed class, right? Like,
right
in the first, like, or drafted a quarterback in the first round since the cursed class, like. Taking over for a quarterback that was, you know, like had won a division, right? The previous, you know, couple of years. And like to like now you're the first, you know, going to the first AFC championship game in a quarter of a century, to the first Super Bowl in 50 years, to back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, I just like, what do they think is going to be different about this year? Oh, well, because what? Like, what? It's just, to me, it's just like it's just like a non-point. It's a non-issue. It's just something that, like, I don't know. It's just something that it's an invented talking point. Like, sure. You know who the pressure's on? Josh Allen, right? Like,
yes.
Like, he's lost 4 in a row. Joe Burrow didn't make the playoffs last year. Like, Lamar Jackson, you know, he's won multiple MVPs, never played in a Super Bowl, you know?
Right.
Like, those are the guys that's pressure.
Right.
Like, you Justin Herbert, dude, like, you're making $50 million a year and like you've never won a playoff game, right?
Exactly.
So, like, to me, that's those are the guys that have pressure going into this year. And Patrick, it's like the only pressure he has is like, can he make a run and try to match Brady at this point, right?
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah, and of course people say, "Oh, he was bad." You know, by his standards, they always got to throw some caveat in there,
Right.
right? Like he was not bad last year, man. Like just because he didn't throw for 50 touchdowns again, the guy made game-winning play after game-winning play after game-winning play, and drug a team that was missing pretty much all of his weapons that he went into the year expecting to have to
with
another
no
damn
left
Super
tackle.
Bowl with no left tackle play, man. The guy. He's never been average in his career, and he's never been bad, right? He's never been not the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about pressure. Like, what if the Chiefs and the Bills face off in the playoffs again this year? Patrick's rolling in at 4-0. Or Josh Allen rolling in 0-4. Even if he was to lose, he's still 4-1 all time against the guy. You think Patrick Mahomes is going to be feeling the pressure in an AFC title game or a playoff game here or there more so than Josh Allen?
Right.
I mean, the Ravens, if they make it again, I mean, we get another Chiefs-Ravens AFC championship game. Who's going to be more nervous and feel more pressure sitting on the sideline like before the game starts? Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes? It's yeah, I think you said, and it's, you know, it's people that do this for a living and, you know, have to write an article every day and have to fill 4 hours of radio time or want to get the clicks. And so they just come with these things. But this idea that Patrick Mahomes was average last year or not very good, quote unquote, by his standards or whatever, man, he was like, it's one of his best years, really, if you think about it, like what he was able to accomplish with all the adversity.
What he was able to overcome based on,
Exactly.
I mean, you know, that team didn't have any business, I don't think, like with all the things that happened going to the Super Bowl. Did you? I mean, like really,
Being
like
15-1.
Yeah, 15-1. Yeah,
Starters at key positions dropping like flies. Dropping back on almost every play, wondering if like any second if you're going to get obliterated from the blind side.
hoped, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
come on,
you
man.
know. And then on top of it, everybody like crediting all of your performance to like conspiracy
refs.
theories about the referees
And luck. Yeah.
and luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. I mean,
there's lots of pressure being an NFL
Right.
quarterback and being the face of the league and stuff, but like, I mean, he doesn't have anything to go like to prove based on his performance last year, unless maybe you want to talk about the Super Bowl and like, you know, getting embarrassed in the Super Bowl. But
right. I mean, he's got
to me, that's less pressure and that's more just motivation, right? Like
Right.
for him. So
he's got all that pressure to all of a sudden not be undefeated in the divisional round of the playoffs.
Right.
So, come on, man. Get with
Yeah.
reality. The guy's not under any pressure. You know, the pressure to not play in the AFC Championship game every year of your career in year 8. Yeah, miss me with all that. But yeah, and look, the Bills, like, do you realize the Bills have never been the 1 seed? Josh Allen has never been the 1 seed in his career. Now you look at their schedule this year, and it ain't going to happen this year. It ain't ever going to happen. But
yeah,
the schedules can be weird because teams jump up that you don't think are going
Mhm.
to be very good, and teams that you think are going to be really good fall off. So that trying to predict the strength of a schedule, as anybody knows, is very difficult to do because so many teams go up and down from year to year. But I mean, this should be his year if he's going to get it done. Never been the 1 seed. Never beaten Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow in the playoffs, right?
right.
Probably should have lost. Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm trying to recall now that Mark Andrews drop. I think the Bills still would have had a chance to win that game or at least send it to overtime. So it wasn't like Mark Andrews dropped the game-winning catch with no time left on the board. But
Definitely.
yeah, he didn't do a lot in that game against Baltimore. So Patrick Mahomes, not average and not under a lot of pressure this coming season. In fact, if anything, he's going to have less pressure because he should be healthier and have all of his weapons, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
life should be easier for Patrick.
today I learned average quarterbacks go to 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Right, the average quarterback play, man. You watch the plays that dude makes.
I mean, if he goes to the Super Bowl this year, he'll tie what Jim Kelly's the only quarterback to ever go to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Right. Yeah. Those Chiefs have become the only second team, right? No other team's done that. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
Played 4 straight Super Bowls.
there's not even really pressure to go to the Super Bowl because if you don't make it this year, it's like everybody's like, yeah, we understand, you know.
Yeah.
Now there's pressure because they want to go, and it's probably
Right.
you know maybe Travis's last hurrah with
Sure.
Patrick, right? Like so,
Right.
it's not like saying that they don't care and they don't want to go, but like I'm just saying like this is like
External
least-
pressure versus
there's
internal
no pressure of the three-peat looming. Like I just like this is the year where they should be able to like swing easy, as they say in golf, right? Like you know,
Right.
like you just let's just go and like kick some ass and like not worry about the results like that. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Other NFL news: Aaron Rodgers finally made his decision. He's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I've always been an Aaron Rodgers fan. I think he's a top 5? Top
Passer
6
of the ball for sure. Man.
quarterback in the NFL history. One of the best pure passers of the ball. He goes to the Steelers, which I fucking hate the Steelers. If you watch the show, you understand. The hatred runs deep. I mean, they're right up there behind the Raiders and the Broncos to me, is teams and fan bases and franchises I love. I can't stand them. He's going there. He's got DK Metcalf, Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches in the NFL. They're a perennial playoff team, even if they are one of these teams that hovers around and gets that like 7th seed, right? Or is the 6th seed and finds a way to always be in that 9-7, 10-6, or no, because it's 17 games now, but they're always there, that couple games above 500, find a way to squeak above it and keep the streak going of not having a losing season and eke into the playoffs only to get smoked in the first round, since Big Ben has retired anyway, or since Big Ben's last year, which also career ended at Arrowhead Stadium, just like Andrew Luck. What do you think of Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers? That catapult them up into favor of the AFC? I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers looked bad in his last year with the Jets, but was coming off the injury. It's the Jets. Like, what do you think he does for Pittsburgh, and how serious of a contender or not are they now?
Yeah, I mean, I was just sitting there. I was like, man, he took that mentorship from Brett Favre seriously. Huh? He's like, all right, so don't let anybody know if you're actually going to retire. Make everybody wait. Go to a bunch of different teams, and
Right.
like that, you know, it's like, dude, I don't know. I really don't know, man. He just didn't seem to have it last year, and I think it would be tough for it to come back, right? The good news is that he's going to a team.
Doesn't get better with age. I mean, at
yeah.
that point.
I mean, the good news is he's
Advanced
going
age.
to a team that can like has a coach that can really cover up for quarterback play. So if he's like just like above average, I think that they're gonna win a lot of games. I mean, because that's just gonna Mike Tomlin seal. But
Sure.
you know, is he gonna take the 9-8 perennial Steelers to 10 or 11 or 12 wins? I don't know, man. That division's tough. Like with I think maybe if it's a different division, if he was like in the AFC South, maybe he might have a better shot at it. But I think he's going to struggle. I mean, I think that he, when he was in his prime throwing the ball, like I don't know that I've ever seen anybody, maybe Dan Marino, that would compete as far as like pure passer of the ball, right? Patrick Mahomes like has like more like the unorthodox throws, which are really cool and great. But I mean, just from like a pure passer standpoint, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best I've ever seen. So, I mean, I don't wish him ill. I know that he's gotten into some weirdness in his outside of football life that we probably won't talk about too much, and that causes a lot of people to kind of not like him and not root for him. I find it hard to root against like most people, I'll say, right? So I wish him well. I mean, not too well because I don't like the Steelers, but
Right.
I don't want to see him go out like, just totally deflated and embarrassed. So
yeah, I think that team, I think they're where they're at because like they have made moves like this, right? And they haven't really, I don't want to say tanked, but they also haven't had that like reset, right? I mean,
Right.
they're just kind of like the Chiefs for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, get into the playoffs as a wild card, maybe jump up, win the division every few years, but you don't have that guy necessarily at quarterback, or they got issues. T.J. Watt, he's sitting out of the mandatory minicamp thing, so because he wants a new contract, so I figure they'll find a way to keep T.J. Watt and get him on the field for the season. But I don't take them as like serious, like they're not in the tier of what you would consider what the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills. That's what the prime competition in the AFC for the Super Bowl. I don't know if there's any other teams you would throw up in there or not, but
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, there will always be one or two that'll rise that we'll be surprised by, right?
Right. So I think you just see more of what you've seen out of the Steelers the last handful of years.
Yeah,
team
they're going to be
finds
like
ways to win games.
9-8, right?
Right. Yeah. Maybe get to 10-7. Maybe Aaron Rodgers can get them like a 10 or 11 wins, but it's going to be tough in that division. We usually do our division prediction winners when we do our NFL preview show when we get closer to the season, and we kind of know what the teams are going to look like, and there's so many injuries. You're already hearing guys. Brian Thomas, the wide receiver for the Jaguars, was really a good rookie last year. Of course, he's on my dynasty team, so he gets hurt in the practice off-season stuff. So it's really hard to tell at this point. But John C's putting the Texans in there.
Yeah. He's putting the. I don't know, man. I did not get a good feeling about where the Texans were headed after that.
No.
The way that they reacted to the loss to the Chiefs.
Right. I mean, they were kind of game with the Chiefs, I guess, in that playoff game last year. But I mean, it never really felt like the Texans were like threatening in that game. Right? The Chiefs were like, they didn't stomp them, but Chiefs were pretty much in control of most of that game. They got Nick Chubb. It's hard to tell what Nick Chubb has left in the tank at this point. When healthy, he's one of the top backs in the league. So
I kind of feel like he's his. I don't know. He's peaked though.
Oh yeah, probably. But I mean, even if he's peaked, he could still be a pretty good running back, right? I mean,
how old is Nick Chubb?
That's a good question. 30, 31 years old, probably somewhere in there. Young Duss, old for NFL
29.
29. So, well, I wonder if he'll turn 30 this year. During the
season. It's rare to see like a guy like Derrick Henry that can still, carry a team.
What do you think you see out of Derrick Henry this year?
I mean, I predicted kind of like a regression last year, and that was wrong. So, I don't know. He seems like one of those guys that can actually continue to carry the load. So I think he's going to have a good year. I think
he's hung in there a few more rounds than a lot of these running backs have with old Father Time, but Father Time's undefeated, and at some
Yeah,
point,
it's not if, it's when, right?
I think with the Ravens system, right, and the way they run the ball,
Sure.
and their offense being predicated the way it is, I think you can see him probably have more success in his later years than you would maybe on another team. But
He's rushed for 11,000 yards.
yeah, almost had 2,000 last year. Would have been the first player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards multiple times. Don't know if he gets to that or not this year, but talk about age. How old is Derrick Henry? 31?
He's got to be. I think he's. Let me check. I think he's
31? 32?
Yeah, he's 31.
31. So does he turn 32 this year, or was that
January 4th?
Yeah, so the end of
Yeah,
the
it's
year.
my daughter's birthday.
They got the same birthday. Yeah, I don't see Aaron Rodgers like catapulting the Steelers up into that next tier or that next.
I don't. I mean, I
next
just
level.
don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
I'm not an Aaron Rodgers hater. Like I.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'm not
a
hating
fan
on
of the
him.
guy. I feel like a lot of his unpopularity has come from the fact that he likes to keep his personal life personal and doesn't feel like an obligation, right, to the media or to whomever.
Well, look, when you're a football player, like the people in the media are like not your friends. You know what I mean? Like they're not there to like.
I mean, they are as long as like you're like giving them all the information they want.
Yeah,
You know?
so like I think that he understood that relationship, and he like
Sure.
treated them like not his friends, and so,
Right.
but there are also people that control a lot of the public opinion, and so I think that led to there being some negative stories about him, and I also think he's just like, I think he's just kind of a weird dude, I mean, so. But none of that has any bearing on whether or not I want him to be successful as a quarterback. I want to see great football when people play. So, like there are players, I guess, that like I don't like for whatever reason. Mostly it's tied to what teams they played for, right?
Right.
But
that's where I find myself like not wanting to root against him, but also at the same time he's on the Steelers now, so I kind of want against him. And I want him to suck, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah. And so anyway, but if he's to my earlier comments, if he is totally following this Brett Favre arc, he'll have a swan song season, right, with a team where he gets close but not there. So I mean if it was going to happen,
the game-losing interception in the championship game, is that what you're talking about?
I mean, I hope it's not, because that would mean the Chiefs weren't in the championship game. So we'll go divisional round. Game losing,
the Chiefs could
interception, divisional round against Patrick Mahomes, and the NFL finally gets their Chiefs versus Rodgers game that they always wanted but never got.
I mean, Chiefs could play the Steelers in the championship game.
That's what I mean. Oh, you mean in the championship game?
I said they couldn't play in the championship game. Like,
yeah, no, they could play in the championship.
They can't play in the Super Bowl, but
they can play. Yeah.
Maybe that's your prediction then for the.
That's not a
NFL preview show, which will be coming out.
It's not a tough achievement to be better looking than me, John.
Nick's the best looking guy. Well, I don't know. Maybe Bo. I mean, it's between you and Bo for sure. Best looking dude on CKL, but.
You taking this Pride Month thing seriously, huh?
I'm a distant third, man. So.
Yeah, I don't
know. We'll see. I don't know if there's any other NFL news you want to talk about. Anybody in the chat got anything they want to ask, or? I know we got Laney. I've seen John C.
Male model candidate.
Yeah. Nick's a good looking dude.
Yeah, like I could be like in one of them before pictures.
Right.
Like, that's funny.
Right. Cool. Well, we're right about an hour, so I guess we can jump out of here. I really appreciate everybody watching.
There it
If
is.
you haven't clicked or tapped, subscribe and like. Make sure you do that. Like, it's so funny. Like, I go back through our videos, man, and like we get like it's like 12 likes on every video, regardless of how many people watch it. So
So funny.
clicking the like and clicking the tap really, really, really helps us. We're trying to
Go
get
on
to
and
that
leave a
1,000.
comment too. It helps
Yeah,
with the
leave a
algorithm when
comment.
people
That
chat in
helps.
there. But
It does. It does.
Jay
We've-
is asking about where's Bo. We don't know. I mean, he goes here, he goes there.
I don't think Bo knows where Bo's at half the time. So
I think he's somewhere in Utah right now. So
right. Well, tell him you said hello though. Winner if we talk to him. So
You got fans, bro.
yeah. Nah, Janet's good people. I like Janet.
Yeah.
I like everybody in the chat. I like everybody that watches this show. We're rolled over the 900 subscriber mark. We just need to get to that 1,000. And so if you can help spread the word, like I said, if you could tell a friend, tell a family member, show them how to subscribe on their phone, tell them about the show, we would really appreciate it. Clicking like and subscribe helps out the show a lot. Appreciate the comment, John C. Always good seeing you in the chat there. So we'll be back next week with some Chiefs and some NFL news. And until then, let's go Chiefs.
All right, let's go Chiefs.